Get into sales, buy your Porsche.
What's up, you guys? New video. We're gonna do some driving, we're gonna do some chilling, gonna spit some game. Got some good guests for this video. Hyped to show you what we're about to get into. Vintage Porsche meet, little drive, interview someone that's done 10 million in sales for a really big name and who's now scaling other offers. Right now we're at car wash, getting things tidied up, which you might see in a sec. And we're gonna take it from there, see what we get into.
Good morning, Austin, Texas.
GM, here we are. We're already kind of posted, man. Look at, we got the gang here.
If you remember from yesterday, there's the GT3 touring.
That's mine.
Small world, but we're at Mozart's, best coffee shop in Austin. There's a vintage Porsche meetup that we're not qualified to be a part of, so we're spectators. We're gonna meet some people here. We're gonna talk about some sales stuff. This guy, Tristan, is coming in. You're gonna meet him in a couple seconds. Get some coffee, maybe some croissants. We're gonna roll.
It's getting near dawn when lights close the tired eyes. I'll soon be with you, my love. Give you my dawn surprise. I'll be with you, darling, soon. I'll be with you when the stars start falling. I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going, in the sunshine of your love.
All right, so as you can see, we're at the Porsche meet, and we've got Tristan here. Tristan was introduced to me by Josh, who maybe we can roll a clip of when we were talking with Josh on the channel. Josh and Tristan worked together. Were you manager there? Or?
No, I was just the top sales rep.
He helped Josh do his job really well. Tristan closed $10 million for a name that I'll let him share if he wants to. And we have the honor of asking him some questions to help you guys out. Hopefully land these kind of roles, close $10 million, and do cool stuff.
Yeah, so just for context, I've closed 8 figures overall, not for one specific person, but like throughout my sales career in the last 3.5 years, I've closed right at 10 millions. It's technically like 9.8 if I had to like count the numbers. But long story short, I bumped into Josh, who actually mentioned you whenever he got into sales, and that you were kind of like the reason that he got into sales, or at least in the initial stages, he was seeing your stuff and kind of got rubbed into this. We worked together on an offer for the Premium Ghostwriting Academy. Dickie Bush and Nicholas Cole, 2 of the biggest guys on the Twitter space as far as like writing goes, the founders of Ship 30 for 30, and that offer changed my life in a fundamental way. I've been working there for the last 2 years, and I recently just left to build my own sales management agency. Yeah, Josh and I ended up recruiting him to live in my house, and we have another buddy over here, Connor, and we just had like a 3-man closer squad for the last like 18 months, and it's been a lot of fun.
Because we actually have some guys that moved here to Austin, lived together after getting in this space, and some of them on the same teams, but what was it like 18 months, like closer house? How was that?
We called it the compounds. It was probably one of the best chapters of my life forever. Like fundamentally changed everything, trajectory changing. It really is magical whenever you can get around a couple of guys that have the same interests and same values, and it sounds kind of cliche, but like you really need to find your tribe, I guess you could call it. Man, we just ran it up and had a ton of fun, man. It was absolutely legendary. We all had strengths that we played off of. We just made each other better, you know, it's kind of like iron sharpens iron. Whenever you have a vehicle that you can communicate through and it's like the same, like we were all closing on the same offer, it just allowed us to have this like intersection that we could all grow from. One of my mentors in sales, Temple, told me whenever we first got the compound together, like don't take it for granted because it'll fly by just like that. So my advice would be don't take this little thing that you've created for granted. Like, it's a very special thing. It's rare, and eventually you're gonna go on and like build a family and all that stuff. So just enjoy it while you're there and just absolutely run it up.
He just let you know, he's closing for Dickie Bush. I would be surprised if some of you guys didn't know who that was. Really popular in the Twitter. Are they on LinkedIn too?
Big time.
Yeah, so they're big time. How do you land on an offer like that?
That's a great question, man. First of all, I just want to say shout out to Dickie. That's been my mentor for the last 2 years. He just like fundamentally changed everything for me. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. So I was trying to get into the online sales space, and I was seeking out mentorship, and I had kind of went to Miami and bought this ticket to this event, like slept in my car. Like, that's a story for another day. But I bumped into these guys who were in the Amazon FBA space. Don't recommend it very highly. Total sham. After a couple months, I just completely fell flat on my face when it came to like landing the right role. And I got a couple roles, got a set of role, became a closer, crushed it, but the product wasn't it. So quit that, and I was just really kind of feeling naive and a little bit down. But I saw Dickie post a podcast with Dan Coe on YouTube, and it was just like how he was building out his team and everything. And I was like at my mom's house at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like sad, like watching this podcast of Dickie Bush. I'm like, who is this guy? And he said he was building a sales team, and so immediately, I'll send you the screenshot so you can throw it up. I immediately DM'd him at like 3 in the morning, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, yo man, I saw you're building a sales team, like I'm your guy, like I will stab somebody for you. Like, as long as your product is legit, like, I'm your guy. I just cold DM'd him, he didn't respond, cold DM'd him again, followed up with him. He wasn't that active on Instagram. I didn't even use Twitter at the time, but cold DM. The one takeaway, if you're looking for a role and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to find a role. I didn't think about it until just now, but I probably cold DM'd like 50 influencers just off the cuff, like, yo, I love your stuff, what's up, let's connect. I just hit him up at the right place, right time.
We were talking about, just over there when we were sipping coffee, how the easiest way to meet high-level people to work with, to connect with, is in person. The DM method still works, but it was way easier like in 21, 22,
Definitely.
2020. So definitely send your DMs if you can't do anything else. He's here right now for an event. Bought a ticket, not a cheap event, came down here. I'm sure you met a lot of high-level people.
Definitely.
Similar to the event that we host in September, like we've done 2 of them now. So many people walk from that with new opportunities, connections that, sure, maybe it leads to something right then and there, but like a year down the road, you can't even predict like how that can change your life. So if you guys have the opportunity to meet people in person and pay to get into rooms where high-level people are.
Yeah, and if I may, like, the way I think about it is this. You're like 1 degree away. Let's say you know 1,000 people. If those people know 1,000 people, that means you're 2 degrees away from 1,000,000. You know, everybody talks about networking and all that stuff, but you have to get really good at shaking hands and opening to be a closer on an offer. Like, you have to be an opener, which means, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm Tristan, man. I love what you got going on, man. I'd really like to see what I can do. Get in there and not be afraid of investing into some of these events, right? Some of these events are fluffy and all that, but if the quality of people is high, like I just went to one this week. I benefited from the event, but I met like 3 people that is easily going to turn into like a 6-figure opportunity for me, and that's the key. Go shake hands, differentiate yourself, and don't be afraid to cold approach in person. And once you meet friends, then they can introduce you to other people, and warm referrals and warm outreach is way better. So got to build those connections. But if you don't have them at the beginning, you only have one choice but to go and make them.
My personal experience in going to a lot of those events, like I just went to one in Japan, spent a good amount of money, and everyone else did as well. The network and who you meet there is literally almost always better than what you actually learn. The information is out there, it's online, it's on YouTube, it's in these free or paid groups, but it's always the people that you meet. The worst thing you can do, paying to go to these events and then not talking to anybody and like just being solo.
Never.
The worst thing you can do. Don't even go. And try to go with people that you know, like try to go with 1 or 2 other people, and it makes it way easier to just like start meeting people and open up.
Yeah, and also don't be afraid to just be yourself, right? Like if you come with some sort of agenda, like I'm gonna meet the one, like it might put this kind of frame on it that's not gonna serve you really well. Just be someone worth talking to in terms of your personal development, and like do cool shit and talk about it, right? Like the marathon thing. Like I clicked on Dylan's page and I'm like, oh, this guy runs marathons, boom. That mattered way more to me than the sales stuff, and it's like talking about what matters, right? So don't go into it like I'm a closer, I'm gonna go be your closer, but more just like be a cool person and be like, by the way, I'm a closer, and what I got going on isn't like, 10 out of 10. If you got something else, maybe we can connect. XRC. So
yeah, don't be super transactional.
What's up? How are you? What's up, man? I'm Tristan.
Joe, nice to meet you. I'm doing good, man. You made it out? Oh, they got some nice stuff out here.
He was saying you're in the community, is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I'm in the sales field.
Nice. I have an interview for Friday now. I did a phone screening with self-publishing.
Hell yeah! Congrats.
I did. Yeah, he did. I was asking him about the culture and stuff, like how it is. He's great. And then I guess I got a call from the HR lady and asked her too. She's like, yeah, it's a great place. I was like, all right, perfect. I'm looking forward to, I think, Wednesday. I'll meet with the owner, Chandler.
Hell yeah, man. Way to be proactive. That's awesome.
So we're here, still Porsche billing Tristan.
It's on the way.
He's gonna go buy that white one because it's for sale. But anyways, next question here. You closed a lot of revenue, as you just heard, and made a good amount of money, built your skill set, and naturally you kind of just found yourself looking at the next thing. The skill set you got good at was really easy to build upon, and now you're kind of managing, building teams. What's that experience been like? When did you know that it was time to do that, and how's that been for you so far?
I had been closing on that offer with Dickie and Cole for the last like 2 years. My goal for a really long time was just to make 20 grand a month, and then I hit that in like September, October of last year. Stayed there consistently, but while that was happening, I actually got referred over to another business owner who had a really great marketing infrastructure and a really great product, but their sales was a complete disaster. And the owner was just like taking all of his own sales calls, and he had no idea like what closing even was, so he was just like sending these people the payment link and not even like doing a discovery. And so I got referred over to him, and I just started helping him for free a ton. And I had a friend who needed a role that was reliable, so I placed a closer into his business, then I placed a setter into his business, and essentially got all my boys into his sales team. And then he needed someone to help him manage the sales team, so I started basically doing like part-time sales management, and that started ramping up really quickly, like faster than I could have imagined. Like we took him from 80K when we started in his first month, or maybe right at 100, to last month we did just under 500K. That was like October, November, December, so like 6 months of a ramp up. At the same time, I wasn't actually growing as a closer as much because I had kind of maxed out, not maxed out, but I had done like the 90-10 on the skill set, and in order for me to go and make 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month, something had to change, right? I didn't really have a lot of leverage. So unknowingly, I built this infrastructure to where with the management offer, I was clocking 10, 15, 25, 30K, and I couldn't do both at the same time. I was like pulling my hair out. So I chose to step away from closing, and now I'm just doing the management offer. That's going really well. I've got a team of 3 sales reps and 3 setters. It's a ton of fun. I got referred over to another client who has the exact same problem. Billion-dollar exit type of guy. You probably know him. I can't really say his name, but he built a huge company and sold it for like $1 billion. Now he's got a huge podcast, and he has a coaching program, and the sales infrastructure wasn't all the way there. So now I'm building that out for him, and I'm kind of forming this sales system build-out offer. And I've got a couple buddies who do a lot of the marketing stuff, so they're referring me clients, and I just knew it was time to step away when I really maxed out the opportunity, and it was the stepping stone for sure. At the time it was the A goal, but then it became the stepping stone, so I couldn't have seen that in the beginning though.
I like to ask this question. Knowing everything you know now, knowing what's possible because you've done it, if you're talking to someone who's watching this right now and they ask you, Tristan, how do I do what you did in less time? Knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Sure.
And it not like it took you a crazy amount of time, but I always like to see like what your takeaways were to how you would do it better or do it faster the next time around. What would you tell them?
You know what, man? I would say that in the remote sales space, like at least in the high ticket space, and from what I've gathered, a lot of people have these expectations like I'm just gonna make 30 grand a month just because. It's freaking difficult. And unless you're absolutely ready to just take a spoon and eat shit for like a year, like you shouldn't even think about trying to hit multi-6-figure levels in closing, right? So my advice would actually be, in order to set yourself up, you just have to be unreasonable with your inputs and your effort on the front end. And once you find a good opportunity, say no to a bunch of other things and just say yes to one thing, and just focus and just give it your all, and understand that it comes with a lot of sacrifice. Like, to give you some context, right? Like, if you make 20 or 30 grand a month, you're basically in the top 5, and if you're, depending on your age bracket, you're probably in the top 1% of income earners for your age bracket in the planet. And in the United States specifically, but in the planet, you're like way up on the upper echelon. And so for someone to make 20 grand a month, it takes a lot of work. So number one, have realistic expectations on if you're trying to achieve these super high levels, like people are throwing these big numbers out, just make sure you understand that that's a really big mountain to climb. But to get there faster, I would just say hire a mentor and get in the right rooms, pay to get in the right rooms. And like, for example, like with what Dylan's building with serial sales, like the likelihood that you are going to land a role is unimaginably higher if you put yourself in positions like being in a community like that. And so maybe it's his, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's just getting into some sort of relationship with someone who can give you opportunities, but go be undeniable. And if you can't get in the rooms yourself, just pay to get in and like be the best in the room. And that's what I would say.
You guys got to learn from Tristan. We're about to head out, do the next thing, but bro, thank you for being on the video. And then I literally just met this guy this weekend from a mutual connection. Now,
shout out Josh.
Yeah, shout out Josh. Who knows what, just knowing this guy both ways, like what can come of that, and the intros that we can each get from each other. Just gotta meet people, man. I talk about it in every single video. But that's it. So saw some cool cars.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys learned something.
And look, guys, here's the thing. If you want to get into remote sales, join Serial Sales. Seriously, I already met 3 or 4 people that it changed their life. I'm not in it personally, so I can't speak on my own experience, but just do it, man.
I can't
just hit them up, join the community.
It only costs $100 for you to say that.
I know,
I'm
right?
just kidding. I
Hey,
appreciate it, man.
Just send me on Venmo, bro.
Oh shit. I appreciate it.
God bless and good luck on your closing journeys. With the top of the cafe, you can hire my boy Neil. He's a 10X. Sure.
Oh, dude, they got a whole new
Get into closing, boys. You gotta get into closing. All right, guys. By the way, if you guys want to check me out, I'm _ Tristan Workman on Instagram. We can drop it right here on the video, but I'm happy to help you guys if it's just for advice or you're looking for some perspective or opinions on what to do and where to go inside the industry. I'm happy to help. Hit me up. There's a lot of love out here in the community, and what Dylan's building is super admirable. And I just want to extend my network and everything else to you guys too. So hit me up.
That's the video. Had a little vibe by the water. I'll drive back into town, hit Barton, connect with Tristan down below. I'll drop his Instagram. He's about to go on a little content rampage, I believe, starting the new thing after closing. So connect with him. He knows his stuff. If you listen to everything he said and everything I said and whatever else we're talking about in this video, and you know that you want to get connected to the right people to do the remote sales stuff and make it easier for you, make it more sustainable, first or second link in the description. Community, you can learn more, you can learn all about it. And we're going to be posting a lot more content, staying consistent. We're getting into summer in Austin. It's like 10 UV right now. I'm already getting cooked. So we're going to have a lot of fun summer content, get all the boys in it. And you guys are going to get to see in real time what remote sales is like if you can crack it and create the life that you want through it, which is move into a city. None of us are from Austin, but we're all here. So we got into sales. We made it happen. So see you guys in the next one.